We have traveled long and come so far.
Clace. Why did you select good music that I have to turn down? I don't want to. I feel bad for turning it down because it's so good. Hey guys, Dream Envoy here. And welcome back to more of Let's Play Winds of Change. Last time, we ended Act 3 and started up Act 4. Problem is, we got music with lyrics, and that just not mixed very well with commentary. Especially when I want to hear what the singer is saying, and who is the singer? I gotta look it up. I want to say it might be Fox and Moore, but because I know you've done some of the music, but I'm not sure. Either way, let's just continue on with the story and see these heart-to-hearts, because especially considering earning All-Awaken Pro, which we have not done a heart-to-heart with before. At least we haven't done the ones required to unlock the ones back at HQ. But like usual, I'll do it in the order where I'm met these characters, so of course that means talking to Valessa first. Oh. Music's changed. I step towards Valessa, who has her hand on the ship's railing. She seems lost in thought, but who wouldn't be after recent events? Careful not to startle her, I simply stand beside her and rest my hands too.
You know, for once I thought things were going well. We had an army, and it seemed like our objective was clear. But they outsmarted us. They caught us off guard. We were careless. They always say to be cautious if things are going too well, especially in war. We got blinded by the victory we thought we secured. Nobody thought to question our course of action, or Domic's orders.
We failed to see the flaws.
And to top it all off, you don't need a scribe anymore. Vortim gets to lead our nation, and I'm left with nothing? That's hardly fair. Now I have no idea what to do with myself.
Oh my god. Oh, I just realized. You're not gonna be a scribe anymore because I don't need one. So you were thinking of leading the nation, but I gave that to Vortim. Well, shoot. I don't know what to say. Because now I feel guilty. I'm sorry, I just didn't think you were fit for a leader, but I guess you were so sure that I would choose you as a leader. I'm sorry. I still want to be despite that, I still want to be friends with you. I really do. And I don't know, we'll figure something out for you.
I just wish things could be clear, like they used to be. If things were difficult, our future was certain. We don't even know if we can secure this alliance.
Don't worry, Villette. My future is clear as long as you're by my side. Don't worry, Valessa. We'll make things work out. You're right, everything is scary and uncertain. We could have died in the attack. I can understand what you're going through, Valessa. We'll make things work out.
I want to believe you, but I'm just not sure. We thought things would work out back at the Rebel HQ. Look how that turned out, Monarch. We were reckless.
Yeah, but we still need to be positive. We need we need to be aware of our weaknesses. We can't allow something like that to happen again. But we still should remain positive, because without hope, if we just act hopeless, then it's a guaranteed loss.
I don't want to sound mean, but I don't share those thoughts. It's important to take a step back and look at the big picture. That way you don't get blinded and act based on your ego.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you. We should look at the big picture, but and not get blinded, but that doesn't mean that, you know, we should be pessimistic about it. She lets out a loud sigh as we stare off into the horizon. The slow rocking of the ship pushes us closer together. With the distance close, I can hear her more clearly. There's definitely more on her mind, I can tell. But I can't force her to open up, so I stand there in silence. My ears are open to her as long as she decides to speak.
I was so lost in thought, I couldn't sleep last night. I decided to help Alex prepare the ship for our voyage.
Thanks.
We got to talking, and he told me something shocking. I'm not even sure if I should tell you this, Monarch, but I guess it's something you deserve to know. Remember how those people recognized us?
Yeah. She must be talking about Grizz and Grayson. They both recognized us when we first met.
They recognized us too. Immediately. I assumed it's because they knew our parents. But then they told me how they knew them.
Grizz told me as well. Grizz killed our parents. She closes her eyes and looks up to the sky.
Our parents were pirates, Monarch.
Yep.
Feared, hated, legendary pirates.
Yep.
Sure explains their trips to Museo.
Doesn't surprise me. I thought that it would be a pretty funny plot twist if it turned out our parents were pirates. And that would be a good explanation as to why Grizz killed our parents. It honestly doesn't come to a surprise to me.
At first I didn't believe it. I was lost in denial, but he kept telling me more, and I had to accept it. I always pictured our parents as these perfect, untarnished people.
There are no such thing as those type of people.
But they were killers. They broke the law. They pillaged. They were part of the reason the Triumvirate launched the occupation. I know what you're going to say. They wanted the idol. Piracy was a cover. And while you may be right, the excuse was still valid. At the end of the day, piracy was running rampant throughout Museo. Our parents played a part in giving them this perfect excuse. Don't you see?
I know I understand that it's a shock, but I don't know. Thing is, I know that there are not perfect people. My parents in real life are far from not being the perfect people. So, I don't know. I kind of relate to this in that sense. I do understand that, you know, you held these people into such high regard, but eventually you get disillusioned when you find out that everybody has their flaws. And some people can be really nasty. Doesn't mean that we have to end up like our parents, but, you know.
And in doing so, they are partly responsible for all of those deaths. We always thought they were innocent victims. But were they really? Honestly, I doubt I'll be doing much sleep tonight either, Monarch.
I understand. This doesn't surprise me. Such a reaction does not surprise me at all. She lets out another sigh, even more exasperated than the last one.
Let's sum it up, shall we?
Yeah?
There's no more spirit realm.
Yep.
The belief system was shattered.
Yep.
Almost the entire rebellion was killed in action.
Yep.
We were tricked.
Yep.
And to top it all off, I'm the daughter of some ruthless pirate killers.
Yep. It's a hell of a lot to take in. Don't worry. Real life me gone through something kind of similar. Well, no rebellion, but yeah.
How am I supposed to process all of this? How will you? Your parents, my parents, Fortune's parents, all 6 of them. They're not the people we thought they were. What do we do?
Brag about it, of course, that's pretty, I don't know. Let's play it by ear. Say nothing, all we can do would be better people than they were. That's the closest to what I said before, out loud. She nods without offering a reply of her own. But I know she understands. This doesn't change much. The goals and our journey ahead of us will remain the same.
I'm just so lost, Monarch.
Yeah. Honestly, part of me feels the same way. In that moment, there's nothing left to say. We stare off in the ocean, together. It was a turning point in all of our lives. How we handled things would define who we became. Our conversation ends with that thought, bringing both hope and despair. Fordham, you're up. Sorry. Fordham paces around the deck of the ship, deep in thought. Everything changed over the last few days. This was so insane. I hope he's handling it well. I better go and see how he's doing.
Hey there, Monarch. There's something that's been driving me insane. You know how we were all freaking out about Valenorth?
Yeah?
Without the heat from the spirits, it'd freeze over and die. I mean, we believed it, but right now, it doesn't make any sense. The spirit realm is a prison, right? Nothing mystical or beneficial.
So let me guess, your question is, how did we stay warm despite the freezing winds?
It matches up with what people outside of Valenorth were saying. We were just superstitious and lived in a unique location. The monarchy gave us visions, and nothing more. We'll have to ask Howl the moment we get the chance. If it's like I think it is, then Valenorth will be fine. No risk at all. As hard as these truths are to believe, they do have their benefits.
You know what? You know what really surprises me? You're more concerned about the logical side. Well, I don't know. I would relate more to Valessa in this situation with, it's a lot to take in. But you seem just more concerned about the logical aspects of it. Like, wait, if this isn't mystical, then why are we not frozen over? In talking to me, he stopped his pacing and he looks happy. Yeah, happy despite everything going... Oh boy, ain't this a contrast compared to what we just went through with Valessa. It's true that a lot of our beliefs were shattered, but that's not a bad thing. Not really, I mean, just the process of, evolving our beliefs. A new understanding of the world gave us a new angle to tackle our problems from. Exactly.
At least it'll make my leadership of Valenorth a lot easier. The one major problem I had to take care of, completely eliminated. I couldn't ask for anything better. It's almost like one last gift from the spirits.
Yep, the greatest gift of the spirits was apparently doing nothing. But yeah, I did say before, I mean, that's one positive. You can focus on other things.
Let's just hope we get lucky like that in Alarinthia. Securing an alliance with barbarians sounds super difficult. They're stubborn in their tradition, just like Valenorth is known to be. But their tradition isn't steeped in the spirits like ours was. At the end of the day, will they even care about any of this? They almost live a world away, untouched by our problems. No point worrying about things out of our control, right? Maybe we should talk about something we do have power over. Remember that climbing gear Pro gave me money for? Well, check it out!
Are you gonna climb up to the crow's nest and back down? The mast of the ship? He wanders over to the bag on the deck and reaches inside. A few minutes later, he produces some clawed metallic objects. It appears that there's one pair for your feet and another for your hands.
They're adjustable, so you can wear them no matter what. You don't need to look for a foothold anymore. You can make them yourself. As long as you're strong enough, there's nothing you can't climb, Monarch. I know what I'm doing as soon as we get back. I'm heading to Valenorth and climbing the Grand Tree. I want you to join me. It'll be a good place for you to learn.
Yeah, want to practice on the mast? That is, if Alex doesn't get upset about us doing it.
I know what you're thinking, though. Why would I learn to climb on something so difficult? Well, you have gear now. I never did. It's a huge advantage. The only thing holding you back will be your energy. But with everything we've been through, this should be simple. I think it'll only take a few hours to climb, if I'm totally honest.
A few hours to climb a tree? That's actually a pretty long time in my book.
I'll bring us a backpack with a bunch of water. Or maybe we should split that over 2 backpacks. Don't want to make one of us carry too much weight.
That great tree can't possibly be a redwood, can it? I didn't look like a redwood, but in my mind, that's how big redwoods grow. They could be tall as mountains from what I've heard. But then again, never been to California, and thus I've never seen redwood trees. He puts the climbing gear back in the bag, clearly excited. It's a breath of fresh air to hear him talk about this stuff so passionately. Everybody else is so concerned about the roar. It's nice just to push that aside. I guess, but it's also kind of unnerving.
Anyway, it'll be nice to make some history together. Not many people can say they've been to the top of the Grand Tree. Maybe we'll start a trend, a sort of coming-of-age thing, you know?
That a coming-of-age ceremony where you climb the Great Tree? Sure, that could be better than what I've heard about in some cultures where you stick your hand in a nest of bullet ants. What tribe or culture does that? Or maybe it's just a rumor that I've heard? I'll look it up. And while I'm at it, I'll see if it's true or not. I don't think I've seen him this excited in a long time. For a moment, it feels like all my worries have simply washed away. They slipped into the ocean, becoming nothing more than gentle ripples. Fartem starts to walk around the ship again and stretch his body. It's almost like he was preparing for the marathon of a lifetime. Of course, that being a long dream of his after all.
I know there's so much danger in our future, but there's happiness too, you know? Lots to look forward to in the end.
Let's hope that the Grand Tree is still standing. Let's hope that you're still standing.
Besides, I doubt I'll be key to our Alorinthian alliance, so in the meantime, there's not really anything else I can do. I've been practicing my climbing on the netting of the ship.
Ah, the netting. I was thinking about why not the mast, since that's closest to a tree, but hey, good enough.
People are worried that I'll fall off, but I tell them not to worry. It's very rare that I fall off, and I usually shake it off pretty quickly. I saw some of them get together and make some betting pools.
Really?
It's a pretty boring voyage, so they make their own entertainment. I suddenly start to know why pirates enjoy fighting and gambling so much. When you're out at sea, there's just nothing much to do. It's pretty crazy.
Good point.
I'd go insane if I were a pirate. I just know it. After this war, I think I want to settle down on the mainland. Sailing isn't for me. I can say that with absolute certainty.
Yep. Here you go, Valessa. An example of somebody who is completely not like his parents. I'm not sure if this life is for me either. It's just different. But North was a completely different atmosphere than any of this. Even Mazio was a bit of a culture shock to me and my friends. Can't even imagine what Alorynthia and Balteus will be like. Well, from what I've seen, Balteus is nothing more but a very cold, wintry castle. Almost like Dracula's castle. Look off to the horizon, we must still be pretty far away. There's no sight of land ahead. How much farther to go?
Sorry for rambling on, but yeah, there's nothing else to do. I bet the other people will be able to keep your interest longer. But before you go, I have just one question to ask you.
Sure, hit me up. He stops stretching and walks right up to me with a sly smirk.
Do we make it to the top or do we fail? What's your bet, Monarch? And no refusing. We're on a pirate ship, so we need to act like pirates.
I say we try our best, but don't make it all the way to the top. I'll be positive. I say we make it all the way to the top and make history, yeah. Yeah, I know. I say we try our best, but don't make it all the way to the top. Stay positive.
Optimism? I love it. The other pirates didn't share that trait. They seem to actually look forward to failure. Though I guess that would be fun to watch. Can you imagine if I fell on the netting into the sea? They'd probably stand by and laugh rather than help.
You'd be dead. Do you even know how to swim? I kinda doubt it, since we grown up in a forest and nowhere near the ocean or any large bodies of water.
I guess we can figure that out when the time comes. Which, as I'm starting to realize, is pretty darn soon. Think of some ideas in your off time, alright?
Sure.
We'll announce the terms before we climb.
Okie dokie. With a smirk and a wing, he quickly runs off on his way. Full of energy it seems, or perhaps he's going stir crazy. I don't blame him, being stuck at sea with nothing else to do. I guess our goal is clear. We climbed up the Grand Tree. That is, if we even made it back from Olarinthia in one piece. Jeez, I hope so. Man, wouldn't it be tragic if this story ends with Fortan being a cripple? Like, he'd still be alive, but he would never be able to accomplish his dream. His ability to focus on the positive stuff during war is admirable. Admirable, if not naive. Hopefully I could join in his positivity. But this blade on my back, both literally and figuratively, weighs me down. I might leave it on the surface as we climb. Yeah, it would make things easier. Oh, cool. Let it get, you know, stolen. A lot easier. Fardam's loyalty scene is now available when you return to the mainland. Yay! The game will notify you when you have access to the loyalty scene system. Loyalty scenes can be initiated by clicking that character at the war table. We already know that. Alright. Next up is Ulrich. We have traveled long. Yes, we have. Are you kidding me? Where have I missed a heart-to-heart? Can I not get some interaction with Ulrich? Is that the same Wiz Pro? God damn it. Well, I guess I'm not getting along with these characters, which is a shame, because I like Pro. Well then. Guess it's going to Dominic then. Dominic sits in a bed, staring down at the pendant I saw him hold back at HQ. He had faced death and came out on the other side. That would change any man. But what happened while he was gone? That's the question that's been on my mind. I approached cautiously, careful not to startle him out of his reverie. When I get close to him, he looks up at me, making no effort to hide his tears. Huh, we gonna get to see him sad. Finally had time to process everything that happened back in those tunnels. I see. Gotta act tough in front of your, you know, your soldiers.
I was such a fool, Monarch. Shane tricked me. I was careless. I should never let him get close to me. He knew my weakness and exploited it. He made me so happy to see him again, and I thought I was finally ready.
Here's my advice, Dominic. Don't talk to Hal. Weakness? What does he mean?
Will you have a seat with me, Monarch? I guess I should tell you the truth of what happened. From the sidelines, I must have looked incompetent. I mean, I'm trained in combat, you know. I should have been able to avoid Shane's dagger with ease. It's what they're all thinking, even if they don't say anything.
I don't think so. With my interest piqued, I sit down beside Dominic. He puts a pendant into one of his pockets and turns to face me. I can tell that his crying spell was over. He was more calm and collected.
Back during the occupation, my parents were killed. I saw them murder my father with no hesitation. Blood. Everywhere. After that, my mother took my hand and tried to find us some shelter.
PTSD, huh?
We didn't make it very far. We saw all the bodies in the town square. Mountains of them. The ground was full of blood. Almost like an ocean. If you look closely, you can still see some of the stains. Even today.
It seems unrelated to Shane's attack, but I sit and listen. Told me he'd tell me the truth, so I should see where this goes.
My mother made a judgment call and did something risky. What's the one place they would never look for survivors? That's right. Amongst the corpses. Covered and crushed by them.
Huh. So you pretend to be dead. Huh.
I was crying, but she helped me get underneath a bunch of bodies. She played dead and lay on the outside, holding my hand as tight as she could. I remember how she kept telling me that everything would be okay. That soft, whisper.
Wow.
She didn't make it very long. They found her and stabbed her over and over. I felt her wince every time. The grip of my hand got tighter and tighter. Then, after a while, it just let go. I got to feel her final moments.
Jesus Christ!
The voice telling me that everything would be okay soon went silent. I was left there, under a pile of bodies, covered in blood. The last embrace I remember, the last time I held a hand.
That's why you don't accept handshakes. Oh my god, it makes sense now. It reminds you too much of your mother's death. Oh god, PTSD made you afraid of Jesus Christ.
It's not something I could ever do again. It just reminds me of that day. Now you understand how Shane made me freeze in fear and surprise. He was the only other person I told this to. He used that to trick me.
Bastard.
And he would have killed me too, if it wasn't for you and Hal. I was finally ready to get close to somebody again. And then this happens. That's how I know Shane wasn't just acting. He played dirty, and he wanted me dead.
And I know why he wanted you dead. It's just a lot of bullshit, really.
There was so much running through my mind the moment he stabbed me. I thought perhaps he was trying to win over the triumvirate so he could get more intel. But then he stabbed me again. And again. I knew that the man I once knew was gone.
All because of a freaking letter.
They did something to him while he was imprisoned. They won him over. I don't know how they did it, but they turned him into a completely different person. We must never let another one of our allies fall under their thrall. Never.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I don't hate Shane just because of what he done to Dominic. I hate Shane because of his character structure. He was completely dedicated to Dominic, but all it took was just one letter that one could easily suspect is forged, and then suddenly he just turns 180 and decides to stab Dominic to death. That's what I don't like. I don't think that's... Again, I'm not just upset that he tried to attack Dominic. I'm upset because I don't think that's good character development. I think that... I mean, he was just so dedicated to Dominic until that one moment. I'm like, really? That was enough to turn him around? He was tortured in prison and that was what turned him around? Really? It is a legitimate complaint, Clace. I don't think that that's good writing. I really don't think so. People don't just turn traitor, just don't turn heel like that. Turning heel, I mean, yes, people turn heel, but it's a longer process and it takes more than just some damn letter. And I mean, like, I wouldn't complain if there were some indications that he might have already been down the process, but no, he's just, he's like, I'm dedicated to Dominic. He would never betray me. Then somebody's like, here's a letter. And then she's like, I don't believe this. I'm going to kill Dominic. People aren't like that in real life, Clace, and that's what annoys me. That's what makes me upset. Not just him, not him killing Dominic, although that's really messed up, but because it's not... He changed characters so... He turned heel so damn fast. That's why I don't like him. That's why I want to kill him. That's why I don't think that he's such a redeeming character, because he's just not good. Sorry, I just had to vent that out. But there. I'm not agreeing with Dominic. But that was a horrible story. Going through then as a child, His aversion to physical contact makes perfect sense now. Okay, I know that my character never really gone through anything worse. I mean, yes, my character's parents are dead, but I don't know. I wouldn't say that my childhood is nearly as traumatic as Dominic, as in losing your parents like that, but I mean, I know what it is to have, like, so many horrible things happen to you when you're a kid and you don't know, just not able to comprehend it. Shane is an awful person, having taken advantage of that. Startling Dominic, making him relive those memories and killing him. That was despicable.
Sorry for dropping all of that on you, Monarch. I just needed to tell somebody. It was eating away at me. And I trust you. I know you'd never do anything like Shane did.
I'm surprised that you placed your trust in me. But I am thankful of that. There is one thing, though, that I am thankful for. Gives me more reason to kill Shane. I don't think that he's redeemable. I bet that the game will try to make me think that Shane is redeemable, but no. No. There's nothing. I think that he's worse than even my worst enemy. That goes without saying. However, the room soon falls to silence. Dominic fidgets awkwardly, clearly nervous.
Well, I guess that's enough to kill any conversation. Like I said, I'm sorry for dropping all of that on you. Anything else you need to say to me while you can?
Is that really a smart thing? Offer your hand and comfort to Dominic? What, like outstretch your hand? Yeah, I don't think that's a good way to, you know, considering you just learned why he doesn't like handshakes. Not everybody will hurt you, Dominic. Opening up is a good thing. I'm so sorry that happened to you. It's all... Honestly, I'm speechless.
Thank you for understanding, Monarch. But I don't need anything more than that, so no sympathy. It was a long time ago, and I just want you to see things differently.
You may not need my sympathy, but take it anyways.
There are those that think I'm incompetent because of what happened.
No.
But as long as one person truly understands, well, that's all I ever need. I was uncertain at first, but now I'm not. Telling you was a good idea.
He smiles and gets out of the bed. I do so as well. I could tell that he was ready to end this conversation.
Well, shall we call it then? I think this is as good a time as any. Let that new information process for a while.
Yeah.
When it comes to my past, that's about it. From now on, we can look to the future. I hope it's just as bright as I picture it.
I hope so too, buddy. With that, he walks away from me and back up to the deck. I was glad that he liked me enough to tell me about his past. It was my duty to never take advantage of that, like Shane did. Well, since I'll never get along with Ulrich or Pro, let's go to this jerk then. Hal stares off into the ocean, deep in contemplation. Heh, howling off into the ocean. Oh, whoa. I imagine that he had a lot to think about and a lot to process. Last time we talked, he seemed conflicted about whether or not he fit in.
Monarch.
Well, you are a zombie, so... He turns to face me and gives me a small wave, welcoming me. I stand beside him and we stare off into the ocean together. The sun causes it to glisten, sparkling with a gentle beauty.
We're still conflicted. These thoughts won't go away. Visions of needless violence and senseless destruction. You may tell us that they aren't real, but we are unsure. The emotions that well up within us are far too real. Is it possible for fake events to elicit real emotions? Or are we, perhaps, hearing echoes of the past?
Echoes of the past? What does he mean?
Let us phrase it differently. You know visions, yes? The monarchy used them to guide us to the best possible future. How can you know that best possible future without trial and error?
Are you saying that I should play through the game and then reset for a different and better ending? Sure, I can totally do that, Mr. Fourth Wall Breaker. But yeah, well, echoes of the past, yeah, I mean, like, memories of what happened in the past may, give us, gives us different interpretations in the present, and, our thoughts, our imagination is influenced by past experiences. I mean, after all, that's what dreams are, is that, it's your brain, it's your subconscious trying to process everything that has happened.
There would still be many futures left unseen, and many pasts avoided. Knowing one true course of action requires disregarding millions of wrong ones. What if we are simply seeing these many avenues, almost like our visions have evolved?
Or maybe there are possibly multiple right answers.
If not evolved, then perhaps gotten muddled. Rather than see the one important future, we see everything. We do not know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, Monarch.
Well, I mean, it gives you more options. Gives you free will. Is that something you simply didn't have in the past? Kind of makes sense when you think about it. Seeing the best possible future was like one side of a coin. The other side still exists and it's left covered up, unseen. Many wrong futures, many wrong choices made. Yeah, well, many good futures, many good choices you could make. The mind likely blocked these out for a reason. Maybe he's sensitive after escaping his prison.
If this is true, then we exist unbound from time. A string in a labyrinth, with no one holding the other side. No one to tug. No one to guide us in the right direction. No one, of course, except for you. Our visions may be useless at the moment, but are yours. We would recommend that you try inducing a vision, Monarch.
Like a vision on purpose?
Not right now, of course, but in your own time. However, when you do, we would request a favor. If you see the future, embrace it, but also look into the past. The future you see blossoms from choice and consequence. Look back at those choices made, and conjure up the choices unmade. The loss, the heartbreak, the death. Maybe then you will know what pains us.
Okay. Try to conjure us views of other choices. Okay. I'll be sure that maybe one day I'll start a new game. See my other options. Maybe I'll do that in a stream. Who knows? I mean, when I did a poll, half of you said that I should do a Let's Play, and the other half said stream it. Doing a Let's Play just barely won out. That's why I'm doing this instead of, going on Twitch. I actually do not have a Twitch account. I should definitely make one. He's plagued by his bad visions. He no longer sees the one true future. Is there a such thing as a true future? He sees everything, and that is a curse that I would wish upon nobody. Can't even imagine how many times he's seen us all die. And for what?
There is only one thing that remains constant throughout these visions. Yourself, the Blade of Exodus, and the death it feeds off of. There is something self-serving about all three of these things. You always have that blade, and the people around you always die. When they do, it's almost like that makes the blade more powerful. It's like there's an essence released from our bodies when we pass on.
I did see one vision that Sophie was holding the blade and not us. But yeah, it makes sense. kill people with the blade becomes more powerful. More souls to control.
But is that the essence of life? Or the essence of death? Perhaps that is a choice the wielder of the blade must make. What do you think, Monarch? Is that energy life? Or is it death?
When we die, I think our spirit is released. That's our life. If the energy is released when we die, I think our spirit is released. That's our life. If the energy is released when we die, then it's made of death. Well, those icons indicate that there's no consequence to either of these options, but when we die, I think our spirit is released. That's our life. If the energy is released when we die, then it's made of death. Well, he's referring to how the blade works. You know what? Whatever. I'll choose this. Because I'm kind of split 50-50 on this.
An interesting thought, to say the least. If it's up to the wielder, at least we know where you stand. That blade is such a mysterious thing, and it grows ever stronger.
He's almost cryptically telling me what I already know. I know that the blade deals with the spirits of its victims. The Triumvirate used it to create their own massive army. Even if it kept a portion of every soul, it would get stronger with every kill. That combined with the power of the monarchy inside, an immense power. But ironic if a portion of everybody the Triumvirate killed was used to end them. Well, yeah, that's what Mylus wanted, to use the Triumvirate's power against them.
We wonder if you possess this ability as well, to see the past, even when you stand in the present. Is that a curse meant only for us, or a gift to be further honed?
Depends on how you use it.
It eludes our understanding, and we wish to know for sure. When we come back to the mainland, please return to Valinor. Close your eyes, concentrate on the past, and talk to your comrades. Do they speak as they do now, or as they did back then? We think that this answer will be very enlightening for us, and if it is, then maybe you can understand our plight. How do we know where we are if our surroundings fluctuate? What if we already had this conversation, and this is but an echo? Perhaps we reside at the end of time, simply witnessing our demise.
Well, aren't you, Mr. Morbid? Wait. That was not... Was that sarcasm, or was it not? Nah, either way, you are morbid. Way too morbid. Okay, now he's lost me.
Sorry, we must appear insane.
You are.
It's just hard, not being grounded in the present. The one downside of visions, being lost in time. Dreaming of that brighter future, and ignoring the present, looking back on the past, and focusing on our mistakes. We experience this tenfold, even mistakes we did not make. When we see your death, we feel pain. A pain worse than death, the loss of hope. That blade falls to the ground, coated in your blood.
I'll be sure not to die then.
Comrades scream in agony as they befall the same fate. Then why do we stand there, only capable of watching? We wish to help you avoid this fate. That is our duty.
Thanks, I guess.
We apologize for the lack of sense, Monarch. Your time is more valuable than that, limited as it is. Perhaps next time, we will make more sense of everything. But try not to forget our advice and our request. We know there is a purpose for all of this. There must be. Together, we will find it, rather than stand here and complain.
I don't like you, Hal, but yeah, sure. I'll go to Valinor. Why not? I nodded before leaving him behind. He was suffering, I could tell. I had enough trouble dealing with visions of the future. I almost feel tortured. If there was anything I could do to help him out, I'd have to do it when I had the chance. It's possible that his body doesn't know how to handle all that energy. I was trained at a young age to handle it, so I had a grasp on what I should be doing. Well, he is possessing Silas's body, so I don't know. Obviously, it's a mortal body, so I don't think that I would have that training. It's possible that, unless trained, someone's mind could be lost in the sea of time. Perhaps, I suppose, but that is a topic for another day. I returned to the deck of the ship, keeping a watching full eye on my comrades. On my watch, they would never meet the grisly fate that Howell had witnessed. For a moment, I decided to stare into the sea, watching the waves and ripples. I could have looked ahead to the future toward Alarenthia, our final destination. But for a moment, I considered looking away from the path we've set in stone. The sea continues to move, living a life of its own, despite our interference. Alright. We'll see Mylus and Howell interact with each other, and I think it's kind of awkward to have happy music after all of this. I'll use this last and end it. Sorry that this is turning out to be a very long video.
You are not my father.
Were you the son of the... Oh yeah! Wait, did he ever say that? I can't remember now.
Do you say this to inform us, or to console yourself?
Huh?
This question was self-explanatory.
It's just... I should be mad at you. Furious. You defile the memory and likeness of my father.
I wonder if your father would feel honored. You know, having his body be used after, well, technically your father is done using it.
Do we? It seems that Salus was an honorable man. Are we not carrying out his final wishes?
What?
The freedom of Alestia. The destruction of the Triumvirate. When you look at it that way, it seems as if we defile nothing.
I don't know.
You know what I also don't know? The fact that Mylus and Salus don't even look like each other, but okay.
What are you wishing to know?
I want to know how I should feel right now. This is just so bizarre. I have no idea what to do. Back in Valinor, things were so simple and easy.
Look, I understand. Seeing your father's walking corpse being possessed by someone else, it's freaking creepy.
Why must you do anything? You could mull over this development for years, you know. At the end of the day, you should do something more useful.
Like what?
This is not for us to decide, but have no worries. We will take care of this body, and using it, we will do everything we can to honor your father.
Thank you. I'll let you know if I think of anything. This might take a while for me to understand.
Very well, but please remember this. Lack of understanding is not a fault. In fact, it can be a strength. You flourished even though you did not know the truth of the spirits.
You're right. I think I need some time alone. I'll be down in the crew quarters, Hal.
If you like this video, hit that like button. Feel free to leave behind a comment. Subscribe if you want to see more. Hit that bell icon. You know the drill. See you guys next time.